kinalkal mga kababayan ni Raffy Tulfo. Itong sinasabing Operation Romanov daw mga kababayan. Dahil ayon sa kanyang nahagap na chismis mga kababayan ay alam din daw yan ni Baste Duterte. Bago pa daw nasabi mga kababayan na itanong ni Maui kay VP Sara yung tungkol sa Operation Romanov, ay narinig na daw ni Tulfo mga kababayan na sinabi na lang yan ni Baste. Pareho din ba yan ng Operation Romanov na sabi ni Baste? At yung binabanggit ni Maui na banta sa buhay ni VP Sara? Kulang na lang na ganyan si Raffy Tulfo mga kababayan. Ayun pala. Mukhang chismis lang mga kababayan ang nahagap niya. Kulang na lang napataas ang kilay ng abogado ng depensa Panoorin niyo po
Judge Scudero, short inquiry lang po for the defense, particularly kay Attorney Mark Biduan. Attorney Biduan. During the last hearing, when you delivered a manifestation in reply to the prosecution's statement regarding the fourth article of impeachment,
anong issue mo, Tulfo? Robust?
you said, and I quote, "The truth of the matter is this: she and her family were threatened, and while her response was unconventional, it was justified." What triggered her response was a question about Operation
Romanov.
Which is the
Pero hindi yan invento ni VP Sara Yung Operation Romanov mga kababayan ay galing yan kina Maharlika, sa mga outside mga kababayan. Tinanong lang sa kanya. Pero hindi galing kay VP Sara mga kababayan yung pangalan na Operation Romanov. Pero regardless kung Romanov mayan o Roman, isa lang ang sigurado, mayroong threat sa buhay ni VP Sara.
plot to eliminate VP Sara and her family. End of quote. Now, Attorney Binluan, this Operation Romanov that you mentioned, are you referring to the Operation Romanov mentioned by the blogger Princess Maui during the online press conference of VP Sara?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yan ang tinanong sa kanya kasi.
So, the question was raised during the press con by this Princess Maui, but I did not see her name sa list of defense witnesses in the pre-trial order. So, will you be
Dapat yan ang patawag ng prosekusyon.
presenting her as your witness?
Your Honor, at this point, it will depend on what has been, what will be established by the prosecution. The defense reserve its right to call or not call any witness depending on the course of the trial.
Sa tingin natin dapat ipatawag. Dahil anong basis ni Maui mga kababayan na saan niya nakuha yung Operation Romanov na issue?
Oh, I see. Okay. So, in other words, will you also be presenting any other witness to prove this threat or this Operation Romanov?
Hindi kailangan. Si Sara na mismo mga kababayan. Pero hindi necessary Romanov. Alam niya na mayroong threat. Ang nasa likod nun ay si Bangag. Kaya tinanggalan siya ng mga security guards mga kababayan.
Yes, Your Honor, that will be part of our evidence in chief.
May this court know now kung sino
Mag-antay ka, ungas.
mga witnesses na inyo to present?
Of course, Your Honor. We are not at liberty to disclose that at this time. Again, it will depend on the course of the trial.
Your Honors, presiding judge, the first time I've heard about this Romanov is during the Maisog Leaders Forum in Davao City.
Bakit nakatawa ka, ungas? parang duda siya mga kababayan Anong implication ng tawa mo, Rabas?
That was on January 28, 2024. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was mentioned by Mayor Baste Duterte.
Na-mention ba ni Baste?
At that time, hindi ko alam anong ibig sabihin ng Romanov at sino mga ito. In fact, ginugil ko yan.
Oo, Dinan
Sino
Fernandez.
itong family Romanov? So napag-alaman ko, apparently, they were the ruling family.
Hindi naman yan. Diyos ko Lord. Pwede lang naman ang tawag Operation Romanov, pero hindi naman talaga yung mga Romanov, mga kababayan na Russia. Nag-i-speculate ka na ng ano, Tulfo.
In Russia that was murdered by the Bolsheviks in the night of July 16, 1918. Malapit-lapit na sa anniversary, 108th anniversary.
Pwede nga yung Operation Romanov mga kababayan, tawag lang yan, code name lang yan, ang mga bangag sa operation nila kay Sara. Hindi talaga yung talagang mga Romanov ang gagawa.
Ano ba tayo nga, July 13? Anyway, may relasyon ba ito sa binanggit ni Baste sa sinabi ni Princess Maui at yung binanggit mo? Magkakarelasyon ba ito?
Tanungin mo si
Your Honor, I
Baste.
have no personal knowledge of what Mayor Baste said, so I cannot comment on that, Your Honor.
So hindi mo napanood yun? Hindi.
Hindi.
No, Your
Sabi
Honor.
nga, hindi namin alam yan.
Okay.
Ikaw lang.
And last question, what did you mean?
Sipunin din ito si Raffy, no? Parang humihilik mga kababayan. Sira din ba ang nasal lining mo, Raffy? Kagaya ni BBM?
When you said that VP Sara's response was unconventional.
Your Honor, it was a description, Your Honor, of the statements that she made during that press call.
Kaya nga, why do you consider it, why is it unconventional?
Your
Ikaw nga, tulpok. Lagi kang nagmumura. Let's check ka.
Honor, the basic meaning of the word is, it will explain itself, Your Honor.
Okay. That's all. Presiding
Hindi alam ang meaning unconventional.
Judge and
Noted and entered into the records.
Ay, nako. Self-explanatory on lumayas, mga kababayan.
Yes, what is the pleasure of the Honorable Defensor, one of the members of the panel of prosecutors?
Sino na naman
Proceed,
yan?
sir. Thank you, Your Honors.
Ito na namang lecheng
Your
buaya, mga
Honors, before
kababayan.
we proceed with the examination of our second witness,
Aabot na naman ito sa sa barilan, sa Tacloban, ng ungas na to. Tapos parang nagmaalaala mo kaya ang visit.
Your Honors, the prosecution is in receipt of a letter dated July 10, 2026 from
Kakahiya ka ni Miriam, tandaan mo ang
NBI
ungas ka.
Director Melvin A. Matibag requesting that his testimony be scheduled or
Scheduled. Mga kababayan, si Matibag, mga kababayan, umatras. Na-scheduled. Siya ang sabi, scheduled.
calendared at the earliest
Reschedule. Bakit? Hindi pa ba tapos ang script? Atat na atat kayong maging witness ng ungas na yan, tapos ngayon hindi pa daw ready, mga kababayan. Hindi pa ready ang script.
setting, considering that the National Bureau of Investigation, Your Honors,
Hindi na dapat si Matibag dyan, mga kababayan, ang talagang titistigo, dahil hindi naman siya ang nun hindi pa siya ang NBI nung mga panahon iyon. Dapat yung panot, mga kababayan pa.
has been invited by the Federal Bureau of Investigation in coordination with the Royal Thai Police for a regional summit on scam center compounds and transnational organized crime. In that regard, Your Honor, the prosecution would like to
Bakit ngayon yung pina-schedule yun? Mayroon palang ibang gagawin.
request that the scheduled testimony
Buti naman, mga kababayan, dahil ang sagwading itsura ni Matibag Ayaw din namin makita ang itsura ni Matibag.
of NBI Director Melvin Matibag be scheduled tomorrow after the testimony of our second witness, Attorney Jeremy A. Lotok.
Sige,
After the testimony,
aksaya kayo ng oras.
after the testimony of your second witness.
Yes, Your Honors.
But the supposed witness scheduled for tomorrow is Attorney Zulaika Lopez per the gentleman's manifestation in the last hearing.
Nakakatawa, no? Si Zulaika Lopez, mga kababayan, kinuha nilang testigo na tampi naman yan kay Sara.
That's correct, Your Honor. After we have dispensed with the testimony of
Dapat, mga kababayan, ang testigo, di ba? Dapat yung makakasira kay VP Sara na Sa tingin mo, ilalaglag ni Zulaika si VP Sara?
NBI Director Matibag, we can proceed with the schedule of witnesses as provided in the list to the senator judges last week, Your Honors.
To include Captain Bello, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
we can proceed with Attorney Lopez and Captain Bello as manifested last week, Your Honors.
What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Cayetano, Alan?
Alan, so palpalin mo
If
sila,
no
Alan.
one objects, I will not object to having Director Matibag yesterday, but maybe as a caution to government officials, my good friend, Congressman Defensor, I read over the weekend that Director Matibag is writing because he is to be in a convention meeting the FBI next week.
Next week
So
pa pala.
actually, we're going to be here 30 weeks. We have put aside many important things. We have put
Next week
aside
pa
many
palang
foreign
ungas.
trips, many local trips, whether it's to help dun sa tinamaan ng lindol sa Mindanao or tinatamaan ng baha ngayon, because we have to be
Kapal
here
na Matibag, mga kababayan.
2 o'clock.
Akala natin ngayong araw na to.
until matapos tayo every Monday to Wednesday, then after the SONA every Tuesday to Wednesday. I find it in bad taste
Bad taste talaga
that
at
a
bad face.
bureau head will dictate to us that he's not available next week.
Kapal ang mukha.
I was Secretary of Foreign Affairs. That's why you have undersecretaries. That's why you have deputy directors. So I mean, I admire the patience of the prosecution, no? But even the prosecution, they have a way of timing and laying down the witnesses eh. So I don't want later on to say na dapat natanong ko muna to sa unang
witness, kaya lang si Director Matibag inuna dahil ganito, ganyan. No, so I'd like to put that on record and ask my colleagues if that's acceptable to us. I mean, yung 20, well, at least those who are not in jail or the 21 of us are here. The whole government nakatutok. We put aside so many important things, and then one witness who is in the government, who is a bureau head,
Papansin.
will tell us sorry, but because he has to be with the FBI, siya na yung mauna tomorrow. That might be a bad precedent, Mr. President.
Ano pa siya mga kababayan? Demanding.
Officer.
May I be allowed to give a reply, Your Honor?
Please respond to the point of Senator Judge Alan Cayetano.
With due respect to the Honorable Senator Judge Alan Peter Cayetano, we will always respect the decision of the Honorable Court. However, we will only be advancing his testimony one day based on the subpoena that we have requested the Honorable Court. He is scheduled to testify until Wednesday, and that we will not disrupt the scheduled list of witnesses. We will simply
Distrap ka na nga nag-schedule dahil susi kayo ng oras. Pauna pa.
advance it one day, Your Honor.
With due respect, Congressman Representative Defensor, I asked that question poignantly last week. If Matibag will be one of your witnesses for this week, and you said no. In fact, you corrected Attorney Ligutan when he mentioned Director Matibag as one of your witnesses, and instead gave
Bakit bukas? Hindi pa pala ngayon.
me a list of Lotok,
Ito na, papansin si
Zulaika
Matibag na.
Lopez, and Captain Bello. Matibag was not included. In fact, I don't think we issued a subpoena for Director Matibag for this week, given your manifestation after you
Wala
took
pala.
over. Given that you have, as you said, control and supervision over the counsel for the prosecutors. So he's not in your list this week. He's not being advanced for a day, sir.
May I respond, Your Honors?
Please so.
Your
Please
Honors,
do so,
that's
sir.
correct. I gave a list of witnesses scheduled for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. However, Your Honor, to add, I also added that since NBI Director Matibag has been requested for a subpoena to testify within the week, I also added in my statement that we will inform the Honorable Court which day we can present the Honorable Matibag, and I was expecting him to
Honorable
be presented
Matibag, hindi yan
on
honorable.
Wednesday
Visit yan.
after the testimony of Captain Belinda Bello, Your Honors.
I confirm that, but the situation is, given the one witness
Oo, di ba? Nagkakalituhan na sila mga kababayan.
per day rule that we supposedly have under the rules of court, no subpoena has yet been issued to Director Matibag to appear this week. Can the clerk of court kindly confirm that for us on the record?
No subpoena has been issued for NBI Director Matibag.
May I
For this
respond?
week,
May I respond, Your Honor?
Senator Judge Alan Cayetano is recognized.
Actually, my statement and my question to the court is not really addressed to the prosecution. You will have to do the best you can to represent, what you're fighting for. No, so I commend you for adjusting. But my recollection is because I'm also waiting for his testimony, and my recollection
Kami
last
hindi.
week
Hindi
he said
kami
that we
nag-wait
will
dyan.
not see him
Visit
this
yan.
week. And I think 11 days, no? 11 days ang
That's correct, Your Honor.
sa article na to. So we're on day 4. So kung hindi siya pwedeng next week, that's day.
Grabe no, ang
7,
demanding,
8, 9.
demanding ang visit.
Again, I don't wanna dictate sa prosecution or but
Subpoena mo yan.
to suddenly say na tomorrow na siya, when I'm preparing for our oral argument tomorrow and the other witnesses is a little bit, it's a small inconvenience for today. But I hope it doesn't become a rule, especially for a bureau head.
Well, sino ba siya? Nagpa-importante mga
I mean, if
kababayan.
no one else objects, but if someone objects, I don't think it's really a good rule. Rules are important. I'll have to keep, you say technicalities. No, rules are important. So even yung notice, we agreed on, presiding officer, 3-day ba? 5-day notice.
5 days for witnesses not mentioned in the pretrial order.
And then 3 days kapag
3 days, given the fact that we will be announcing the witnesses for the following
Yes.
week on the last day.
Yeah, anyway, I said my piece, but I hope we will not be able to move faster if we have to accommodate the witnesses, especially if they're in government.
May I add something, Your Honors,
before
we...
the Honorable Defensor, presiding officer would like to hear from the counsel for the respondents. Attorney Binlon, what say you?
Yes, Your Honor.
What
we would have
say
to
you? What
oppose,
say me?
On the basis of the following. Number one, it will be in violation, Your Honor, of the impeachment court's directive that was given last week, insofar as the identities of the witnesses and as well as the order of the presentation. Number two, Your Honor, it will be, again, as mentioned by Senator Judge Cayetano, a violation of the 5-day notice rule. Since while he was subpoenaed the week before, Your Honor, we are learning that he will be presented this week. So the 5-day notice will not be observed. Number three, the prosecution cannot compel also the defense and this impeachment court to present witnesses according to their schedule, considering also
Bakit nagdidemand yan si Matibag? Kala mo kung sino?
these witnesses have already been identified and determined. Of course, it will be a violation of the basic tenets of fair play. To join again the manifestation of Senator Judge Cayetano, it will set a bad precedent. Surprise witnesses will be allowed at any point of the proceedings. Number 5 would be, it will also violate our right to cross-examine intelligently, prepare for their witnesses. However, these last-minute changes really affect the preparation involved, Your Honor, and insofar as laying down the case that we want to establish. And finally, if there are violations of these proceeding rights, there will be a violation of procedural due process, which of course can give way to another ground to further delay the proceedings. Moreover, Your Honor, we would, if the prosecution would also allow, can we also get a copy, Your Honor, of that invitation, and maybe inquire of the prosecution if at the particular travel authority has already been made? Because Your Honor, we received information as well that the FBI had already conducted a summit, a regional summit of some sort, but it was conducted in other words, last month, Your Honor, also in Bangkok, Thailand. So we would have to, again, manifest and we would have to study, Your Honor, the invitation and counter-check and do the proper verification as well. So that if it is indeed viable, then we would understand, Your Honor, why it has to be attended to by Director Matibag, Your Honor.
Senate President Gatchalian is recognized. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you,
Ayan,
Mr. Presiding Officer.
Pagsalita na si
Sinusuportahan
Gatchalian.
ko po yung statement ni Senator Judge Alan Cayetano dahil hindi lang naman po yung
Tapos ang
counsels
remand,
ng
Gatchalian.
prosecution at defense na naghahanda, pati mo mga senator judges naghahanda rin. At sa totoo lang ho, itong weekend,
Matibag,
marami rin
hudas.
sa ating mga senator judges ay pinag-aaralan kung ano yung kanilang maitatanong sa mga testigong ihaharap po ngayong linggo. Marami po ay pinag-aralan po yung mga ebidensyang in-upload na ho para
tapos
po
biglang
sa ating mga
aatras.
senator judges. At hindi ho to konting ebidensya, pinag-uusapan ho natin dito. Libo-libong mga papel at libo-libong mga ebidensya. Kaya kung bigla pong may isisingit na testigo, hindi ho rin makakahanda po yung ating mga senator judges sa kanilang pagtatanong at hindi rin ho nilang mababasa yung mga dokumento at ebidensya na nakakabit ho doon sa testigong iharap. Kaya napakahirap
Stick to the
naman po
schedule.
na naghahanda ho tayo pero biglang may mga ganitong suppression na hindi ho natin paghahandaan at hindi naman ho yan magiging maayos at patas para po sa ating mga senator judges. Maraming salamat po.
For the record, Chair would like to confirm the statement of the Honorable
So anong gagawin ninyo? Wag niyong payagan si
Defensor.
Matibag
I
na
will quote, Presiding Officer, quote, so Director Matibag is not yet going to be presented next week. Representative Defensor, not yet, Your Honor. We will manifest on Monday. If we can consider him for the Wednesday session, depending on how the trial goes and how long the testimonies will take for both parties. With the permission of Senators, Senator Judge Cayetano and the Senate President, maybe defer our ruling on this matter and ask
Bakit mo i-defer?
the counsel for the prosecution to submit to us the letter given to you by Director Matibag for us
Sino
to
ba yan ang pa-espesyal, mga kababayan, na
be
matibag
able
na
to
yan?
look at it. Copy furnished, of course, the counsel for the respondent so that we can adequately go over it and hopefully come up with a ruling before the day is over.
We submit,
would
Your
that be
Honor.
possible?
We will submit the letter.
Sige
Your
na
Honor.
lang.
Thank you, Your
Trabaho,
Honor. So we
tapos
shall
na
do
yan
it
sa pinggan.
that way. Kindly furnish a copy to the counsel for the respondents as well for their review.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Counsel for respondent,
umpisahin
Attorney
na,
Benuenz,
Your Honor,
Umpisa na.
if the travel authority is also available, if we can ask
If
for a
the-
travel authority, if it's already issued.
yes, of course. Kindly furnish us that as well.
Your Honors, we will submit in good faith whatever the prosecution has received
Good
from
faith, bad
Director
faith,
Matibag,
Jack
Your
Maska.
Honor.
As well as
Kindly communicate with him if possible, if he already has a travel authority for the SIN, so that we could evaluate it based on what you have. We
Yes,
cannot
Your Honor.
evaluate it based on what you don't have, so we will presume if you don't have it, it's not yet there.
Your Honor,
Yes,
one last
Attorney
addition. Considering that there's a, if and when they provide the travel authority, I understand, Your Honor, that one of the requirements is also the official invitation from the foreign body. So if they can also provide that, Your Honor,
Well-
so that we can do a full review of this matter.
Attorney Benuenz, it's not really for the full review of the counsel for the prosecution, but rather for this court's evaluation, whether or not to allow the motion of the counsel panel of prosecutors. But everything that will be submitted to us, you will be furnished with a copy.
We will
so that you
submit
can argue your way through this motion before we decide on it. So ordered.
Diyan pa lang,
Counsel
grabe
for
na
the panel
argue.
of prosecutors, kindly call your next witness.
Your Honors, I respectfully request that the counsel for the panel of House Prosecutors, Attorney Virgil Ligutan, be recognized
Ayan
for
na
the
naman ang
presentation
sipon,
of our
oh.
second witness.
Uminom ka
Attorney
na ng
Ligutan,
Yusip.
counsel for the
Siguraduhin mo ligutan, ha, nakainom ka na ng Yusip.
prosecutors is recognized to present the prosecution's second witness. You may proceed, sir.
Nakakadiri ang sipon, mga kababayan Itsura, oh. NUPL pala ito, no? At ang sabi ni Ka-Eric, mga kababayan, nangangamoy corned beef daw yung mga NUPL.
Mayong hapon sa atong
Shut up!
the
up,
second
idiot.
witness for the prosecution is no other than
Wow.
Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, Your Honor, please. We call to the witness stand Attorney Lotok.
Ano na naman sasabihin
Kindly
yan?
situate Attorney Lotok to the witness stand.
Lutok. Pati videographer, may nakabarong. Wow. Ayun, oh. Ayun ang mga buwisit, oh. Ilago, oh. Diyos ko, Lord. Hindi yan, di ba hindi yan nanalo yung Gabriela, mga kababayan? Naging kumilected lang yung bigla. Eee! Tapos mga makakaliwa din yan. Ngayon, mga kababayan, bidang-bida under the Marcos Bangag administration. Ayun ang witness. So, anong kasinungalingan na naman ito? Don't tell us na nag-seminar din ito ng 2 weeks.
Attorney Lotok, please remain standing
Tapos
as the clerk of court
Naging expert
administers
na.
the oath. So far as the prosecution's second witness is concerned. Clerk of court is recognized.
Please raise your right hand. You, Jeremy C. Lotok,
I, Jeremy C. Lotok,
do swear
do swear
that the evidence you shall give
that the evidence that I will be giving
in the case now pending
in the case now pending
between the Philippines and Vice President Sara Duterte
between the Philippines and Vice President Sara Duterte
shall be the truth
Wow.
shall be the truth
Si
The whole
Sara
truth,
talaga ang kanilang
the whole
ano, no?
and nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the
Nilitis.
So help you God.
Wow.
so help me God.
Oh, hindi kayo tutulungan ng God dahil kademonyuhan yung pinagagawa ninyo.
Your witness, counsel for the prosecutors.
Attorney Lotok, you may sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Sipon. Oh, bigyan ng nose plug ito, mga kababayan, para hindi tutulo. Yak.
Your Honors, the testimony of our second witness,
Ano na naman
Attorney
kaipalan
Jeremy
yan?
C. Lotok, is offered to prove the following. Number one, Jeremy Lotok is a lawyer by profession,
Tapos,
and he was the chief of the Cybercrime Division of the National Bureau of Investigation
taga-NBI na naman. Bata na naman ito na matibang, mga kababayan.
or NBI in
Naglipsik ka. Litugan, ligutan, ano ba to? Ligutan.
2024. Pangalawa,
In UPL.
kasama siya sa NBI team na nagsagawa ng investigasyon sa mga pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente.
Kasama nung dati mga kababayan, nagsagawa ng investigasyon tapos tinanong na anong komite na nakontempt si Zuleika Lopez, hindi alam. Nag-imbestiga ka nga ba?
Na ginawa sa isang online media briefing noong Nobyembre 23, taong 2024, kung saan diniklara ng Vice President
Diniklara ha. Sige ha, dagdag bawas kang visit ka ha.
na siya ay kumontrata na ng isang tao
Careful, wag mong sabihing assassin dahil hindi yan assassin.
para patayin ang Pangulo ng Republika ng
Bangag.
Pilipinas,
Kung,
ang unang ginan at ang
Sige.
dating speaker.
Kumpletuhin mo ungas ha, kung mamamatay siya dahil siya mismo ang unang mayroong threat at ang pinagbibintangan niya ay ang tatlong niyang bangag na yan.
ng House of Representatives.
Sige, kumpletuhin mo.
Pangatlo,
Wala. Diyan sila mga kababayan. Talagang dinideliberate nila na i-cut off o hindi isali yung portion na yan.
napag-alaman
Stupid!
ng NBI na ang mga
Nakakampwet ni Marcos. Nakasama sa nanggigipit kay Sara.
pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente ay seryoso
Wow!
at totoo.
Wow, totoo. Totoo
Matapos
daw.
silang isaalang-alang ang mga sumusunod. Una, the manner of the respondent's delivery of the statement that she intended her remarks to be real
Bakit hindi mo
and serious
Bakit hindi mo kinumpleto? Mambubudol.
threats. She was not merely joking when she uttered
Uter?
those threats. Pangalawa, mga kababayan,
Wow!
even before
Parang si Francis Pagalona.
that fateful press conference on November 23, 2024, bago yung press conference na yan, may nakontrata ng mamamatay tao yung
Wow! Paano mo nalaman?
Vice Presidente.
May nakontrata. Diyos ko Lord.
Bago pa man
Ano na namang invento?
ang press conference na yan.
Ano na namang invento?
Pangatlo,
May nakontrata na.
ang utos ng
Kontrata
Vice Presidente sa assassin
Assassin? Wala na. Liar.
na huwag siyang titigil hanggat hindi napapatay ang Pangulo ng Pilipinas
Bakit buhay pa
Ang
ngayon?
unang ginang.
Bangag.
at ang Speaker ng House of Representatives ay nagpapakita na ang Vice Presidente ay determinado at
Patay na siya Sara niyan eh. Talagang mga kababayan talagang hindi talaga nila binabanggit yung premise ni VP Sara na kapag namatay ako.
porsigido sa kanyang pagbabanta. Number 4, the result of the investigation and after determining that the respondents' threats are serious and real, led the NBI to file complaints for 3 counts of grave threats,
Bakit ang NBI hindi ang dapat si Admiral ang nagsampa? Dapat si Romualdez. Walang complaint si Romualdez.
and 1 count of inciting to sedition. Number 5, this witness, Attorney Lotok, will identify and authenticate the affidavit of investigation, the annexes, as well as a couple of videos in relation to the NBI's investigation. And number 6 offer, he will also testify on such other matters as are relevant and material to the impeachment of the Vice President. Ready for comment, Your Honor, please.
Nonsense.
Counsel for the respondent, Attorney Binluan.
Subject of cross, Your Honor.
Thank you so much.
Counsel for the prosecutor may proceed.
Daghang salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer, Honorable Judges. Attorney Lotok,
Sir,
maupay nga kulop haimo.
Maupay na kulok ko'y visit ka.
maupay nga kulop man, sir.
Waray-waray po. We are both waray-waray. At the same time, siguro,
Shut up.
Attorney Lotok, pwede bang mas malapit pa sa
Ano pala ito ni Romualdez, no? Kababayan ito ni Romualdez, mga kababayan taga-Tacloban.
microphone para marinig ng sambayanan lahat
Tacloban ba o Leyte? Basta mga kababayan,
ng isasagot ko mo sa mga tanong ko. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Lotok, kindly state your name,
Diyos ko,
edad,
Lord, pati pangalan. Sige lang, sige.
and other
Technical yan
personal
eh.
circumstances.
I am Attorney Jeremy C. Lotok, 50 years of age, and currently the Regional Director of the NBI Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao.
taga Mindanao pa. Ang ginamit nila mga kababayan.
Sir.
Sinabi mo ikaw ay isang abogado, Attorney Lotok, di ba?
Opo.
Now, yung tanong, kailan ka naging membro ng ating Philippine Bar?
I was admitted to the Philippine Bar and took my lawyer's oath in 2013, sir.
2013. Now, Mr. Lotok, ano ba yung current position mo, occupation mo, kung meron man?
The regional director of the NBI Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, sir.
Ikaw ay isang NBI Regional Director for BARM. Now, yung tanong is, how long have you been with the NBI?
I've been in the NBI for the past 12 years, sir.
12 years. No, tanong is, I think, based on my counting, that would be since 2014. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Now, kailan ka ba na-designate as the NBI Regional Director ng BARM?
I was designated in January this year as regional director of the NBI BARM, sir.
January 2026. Now, prior to your designation as the NBI Regional Director for BARM, ano ba yung previous position mo within NBI?
I was the regional director for Region 4B or Mimaropa, sir. I think July 2025.
July 2025 you became. Okay, now, prior to your designation as NBI Regional Director for Mimaropa, what was your previous position kung meron man?
I was the chief of the NBI Cybercrime Division, Your Honor.
Chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, kailan ka?
Buisit itong masyado, no? Itsura nito, no?
Kailan ka na-designate as chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division?
I was designated in February 2023, sir.
2023, no? Now, sinabi mo ikaw ay naging chief ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, yung tanong, Mr. Attorney Lotok, is what were your primary duties and functions bilang hepe ng NBI Cybercrime Division?
Primary duties, among others, to plan, direct, supervise the investigation of cybercrime cases pursuant to Republic Act 10175 and other relevant laws.
Laws?
And part of my duties and responsibilities is to investigate high-profile cases pursuant to Republic Act 10867, specifically crimes committed by, through and with the use of information and communication technology, sir.
Now, Mr. Witness, of course, you are aware na ikaw ay tumitestigo sa impeachment trial ng respondent. Now, yung tanong is, kilala mo ba yung respondent sa kasong ito?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sino ba hindi nakakilala?
Okay, yung tanong now is, why do you know her?
Bakit? Siya ang Vice President ng Pilipinas. Bakit hindi alam?
She is the incumbent Vice President of the Philippines, and she is the subject of the investigation by the NBI Cybercrime Division, Your Honor.
So, nasabi mo, she is the subject of an investigation ng NBI Cybercrime Division. Now, yung tanong, Attorney Lotok, is kailan ba? Kailan nagsimula yung investigation ng NBI Cybercrime Division on the respondent?